Alright, boys. Here's how things are going to go tonight. Getting a lot of heat about letting games get out of hand. So tonight, I'm calling everything. Everything. You mess up, you go to the box. You got it? Actually, we were kind of hoping that you would take the night off.
This is low-quality Bruins fan. His power play is so bad that he's embarrassed whenever it's on the ice.
Take a night off? Yeah, we just want it to be a little more of a pond hockey style, you know?
This is low-quality Leafs fan. Somehow his power play is even worse.
Not gonna happen. It is my duty to be there making sure you boys are safe. Duty. But come on, man, just take a night off. Spend some time with your family. You think I do this for fun? I swore an oath to uphold. An oath? What are you, a cop? Yeah, you know, I am kind of like a cop. That actually explains a lot. Let's not get political, alright? Well, what? You don't like cops now? Brother, I look like 85% of the male population at the original Woodstock. And 30% of the female. It's not the cops that I have a problem with. It's following the laws.
The Bruins also lead the league in penalty minutes. By a margin.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Just keep it clean, or there will be consequences. Well, we tried. I guess if we want to not embarrass ourselves, we'll actually have to play a clean game. Yeah, guess I'll have to try. Really? Yeah, I'll try a lot harder. To hide it when I'm doing stuff I shouldn't do. It's on. Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is not a dub. It was on me. This one's on me. My bad. You watch the skit. If you're here right now, you watch the skit. I wrote and recorded and edited that skit before the game. This one's on me. They were the 31st ranked power play. We were the 25th. I thought it was funny. I thought the bit was going to be funny. And yeah, I had the thought like, ooh, I'm really setting myself up for disaster if this game goes differently. Hey, it's fine. That skit was a little more involved. It takes longer, so it's usually not something I'm capable of doing at 11 p.m. after a game ends. But that one's on me. Yeah, that's that's my bad. I should probably be benched by the coach for that one. Whoops. Not a dub, but I feel like people are going to get really disagree about this. They're really not going to be happy with this. I actually thought this kind of continued the last two games that the Boston Bruins are a real hockey team. We'll get to it, but I don't think this is all negative. Like, there's negatives to take, obviously, but I don't know. I'm finding some silver linings with this one. I made the skip before the game. It's my fault. It's my fault. The first thing I want to mention, though, is please check out a podcast called Two Pad Stack. Ace and Jake were kind enough to invite me on to do a recording with them on Monday night. The episode released this morning, so it's still pretty relevant. If you guys want to check it out, I'd really appreciate it. But that was a fun guest spot for me. Obviously, the Short Shift podcast will be recording this week as well for our usual coverage of the Bruins and how they look. Spoiler alert, I won the predictions week once again. I'm taking a little bit of a lead here this season. What are you going to do? The guy knows puck sometimes. I predicted a 4-1 loss for what it's worth. Not on the Discord, because I have different predictions for whatever I'm doing. It's fine. I've also heard some Freddie trade speculation. I hear questions about it. I see questions about it. I don't think the Bruins are anywhere close to doing something like that. Certainly not yet. So, basically how I feel is that would be a weird move at this point in this season. Closer to the trade deadline, obviously we're going to have to talk about him because he is a UFA at the end of this season. But, yeah, I don't think there's a lot of smoke to that fire for that one right now. Yeah. Let's talk about the Leafs a little bit. The 31st on the power play, which I already mentioned. They're 9th on the penalty kill, 16th in goals for, and 8th in goals allowed. If you take into account how bad their power play has been, Austin Matthews is missing this game due to an upper body injury. Austin Matthews has shot like 5% on the power play or something along those lines so far this season. Going into this game, they had 4 goals in 40 attempts on the power play. If you take into account what should be a power play clipping at, I don't know, 20-something%, like low 20s, maybe mid 20s, this offense isn't going to stay 16th for long. They'll be top 10. The 8th in goals allowed, I can believe that all day. Stolarz has looked really good. Wall has been shaky, but he's been fine as a backup. Stolarz has been really fantastic for them. This team's damn good. I know that we can. The Maple Leafs record right now was going into this one was 6-5-2, I think, and obviously improves now. They're a better team than their record, and once that power play starts humming, which it will, they have too much talent for it not to. Yeah, that team's really scary. I've really looked at them as a very threatening team this season, and I think they're only going to be better with a real coach because I don't have any faith in Sheldon Keefe at all, and he's gone. So that's how that works. Their analytics are fine too. All the underlying numbers show a really strong team. They have a ton of different line combinations that win their matchups consistently. They control the puck more than their opponents. They get more scoring chances than their opponents. The Leafs are going to be fine, and clearly in this game they were. They were struggling at 5-on-5 to finish anything, but hey, so are we. For us, the lineup is slightly different. Marchand, Lindholm, Pasta, again on the top line. Zacha, Coyle, Brazeau on the second. Freddie, Patra, Johnson. Johnson makes his debut, knocking Geeky out of the lineup. And then Beecher, Kostelic, Kepke, Zadorov, McAvoy, Hampus, Lindholm, Carlo, and then Wotherspoon, Peak on the bottom there. Lohrei, again, is going to be a healthy scratch. And like I mentioned, Johnson is going to make his season debut. Good for him. Let's talk about this game. Let's talk about this game. Puck drops! 2:27 in. The Leafs are going to take a penalty for too many men. Just get used to me using the word power play and penalty because we're going to talk a lot about it. 1:23 left of the power play, so like 30 seconds into it. McAvoy collects a puck awkwardly off of a face-off win. He gets rammed down by Marner. They both fall. Maybe I missed an angle here. Very surprised they called tripping on McAvoy because that looked like Marner hit him and then they both fell down. I don't know. Either way, it wipes out our power play. We're going 4v4, and then they'll have a short power play. Nothing really comes from it. 9:58 left. Marchand gets crunched into the wall. He skates gingerly back to the bench. He would stay in the game, but he was clearly not feeling great throughout. And then right after that, 8:36 left. Peak gets hit by Pacioretty. Patches clearly elevates into this hit, in my opinion, but I'm not sure really what the call is here. I didn't see an angle that felt like he got struck in the head by the elbow or anything like that. I couldn't really see anything along those lines. They called a 5-minute major, blew the play dead because Peak stayed on the ice until he was helped off of it. And once he was helped off of it, he didn't come back as far as I can tell. After reviewing the 5-minute major, because calling that major allows them to review it, they said no penalty on the play. I tend to agree with them. Again, it felt like he elevated, but I didn't see him leave his skates until contact was made. It looked like mostly shoulder to shoulder. I just didn't see an angle that made me think that this was nasty or dirty. Either way, it stays even strength. We're going to move on. 6:27 left. Coyle's going to go for tripping. We're going to go to the penalty kill, and we kill it. And then 3:19 left. Tanev gets Pasta hard while Pasta is trying to cut back along the wall. Marchand jumps in to defend him. Marchand's going to go for roughing. Tanev's going to go for roughing and for boarding. We're going to the power play. Power play is awful. Don't even worry about the result because we didn't do anything with it. This should not have been a penalty on Tanev. Maybe I'll be the minority in that one. I don't know. I know we're a bunch of homers here, but if Zadorov's going in to hit Marner, and at the point of contact, Marner spins and Zadorov goes full numbers and rams him into the boards, I'd be pretty pissed if Zadorov was called for something there because Marner put himself into a position that was clearly vulnerable at the point of contact. That's what Pasternak did. The moment he was getting hit by Tanev, he spun. Bam. Everyone was fine. No one was hurt, which is great. But This is one of those where I just kind of go, that's a bad call. We'll take it, though, off to the power play, and we do nothing with it. Second period starts, 2:27 in, just to match the first period, same amount of time before the first penalty. McCabe is going to go for high sticking. We're going to the power play, and that's right, we do nothing with it. 8:29 in, after a bad handoff from Swayman to Zadorov, it leads to Zadorov knocking down Tavares. He's going to go for interference. Had the play been blown dead, which is, I'm sure, what Zadorov expected from Swayman there. I don't really know why Swayman went to dish this off, or if he even intended to. Had the play been blown dead, that would have just been a weird after the whistle scrum. But instead, it's a penalty on Zadorov. So, he's going to go. 15 seconds in, this is simple. And this is what happens when you give them chance after chance after chance on the power play. Not what happens when you give the Bruins chance after chance after chance. That's how bad our power play is. But Riley is going to be at the very top of the slot after a faceoff win by Toronto. And he's just going to launch this. Wrist shot, moving screen in front. It goes high glove, post and in. Maybe Swayman could have seen this and had a chance at it. I don't know, but post and in is posted in, man. That's a hell of a shot. And it's 1-0 power play goal. This game's not over. Still about 31 minutes left. It's fine. Stop all the stupid penalties, and maybe we can recover. 1 minute later? Yeah, 1 minute and 5 seconds later. Pasta goes for high sticking. We're going to go to the penalty kill. And this time it's a lucky bounce. Nylander on the goal line to the right of Swayman just tries to chuck it into the slot, and it bounces off Carlo's leg and beats Swayman glove side. 2-0. No chance for Swayman on that one. Just a lucky bounce. 2-0. Power play goal. Still basically 30 minutes left of the game. You're down by 2. It's not the end of the world. We can fix this. Just stop taking the stupid penalties. 1 minute later, McAvoy is going to go for tripping. We're going to go back to the penalty kill. This is directly after a big chance from the second line where Stolarz made one hell of a save. Cross slot pass. Brazeau launched it blocker side and Stolarz just gets there. And then we take the penalty. We do kill this one at least. But please, please, just stop taking the stupid penalties. 4:52 left. A penalty. By the Leafs this time, Holmberg's going to go for slashing. We're going to the power play. It's laughably bad. Laughably bad. I'm not going to fire Monty because the power play is bad, but can someone do something? Can we change something? Anything? I don't know. 1 minute left of the period. Domi is going to go for slashing. We're going to go back to the power play. No dice so far. We're going to start third period. We're still going to have a minute left on the power play. And with 17 seconds left of that power play, Marchand's going to go for tripping. We're going to go 17 seconds of 4v4, and then we're going to be back on the penalty kill, which we kill. Good job by us. 5:03 in, Nice is going to go for hooking. Back to the power play. You could have bet your life that we would have scored on this. You could have been looking into the eyes of the players and told them, I will forfeit my life if you don't score on this. I still don't think it would have changed the result. We did not score on this. We're going to move on. 6:20 left. Kostelic. We're building momentum too, and I know it's late and we haven't been able to beat this guy at all, but we're all over him. Kostelic's going to go for roughing to the penalty kill. 30 seconds later, the Leafs are set up. They move the puck to the top of the slot where Nyes gets the tip off of, I believe, a Nylander shot. Nyes is untouched. Beats Swayman glove side. It's 3-0. And then with 4:02 left, I believe it's Domi gets the empty netter from mid-ice. We pulled Swayman early. That's going to be your final score is 4-0. 8 penalties taken. 7 of them led to us being on the penalty kill. One of them was offsetting. 8. The Boston Bruins are averaging almost 5.5 penalties a game. We lead the league by such a huge margin. Such a huge margin in penalties taken. Many of you will have the correct first thought, which is, well, it's because we're slow, and so we have to rely on our sticks a lot more. You're correct. Oh, I don't have any clever insight there. That's just right. I don't even know what the solution is here. And honestly, what's really frustrating is it's players who actually have speed that are taking a bunch of these. I mean, Pasternak and Marchand and Kostelic. It's so frustrating because my big game note here is that game was so winnable. Over the weekend against the Flyers and the Kraken, The Boston Bruins were good. They were good. They were playing terrible teams, but they were good. And then we get to this game where the top line is a 50-50. Lindholm has not helped improve this team's top six at all, Elias Lindholm. But the top line was fine, and they had some nice moments offensively and were solid defensively. The second line was dynamite. They owned the ice when they were out there. They dominated when they were out there. Brilliant. Couldn't finish, but were brilliant. The third line got completely caved in. And then the fourth line was a mixed bag. At 5-on-5, we were a real hockey team, though. And I think, personally, that I watched the Boston Bruins for about a month be a bad hockey team. In every stretch of the imagination, every stretch of every piece of the game, they were bad at it. And over the last 3 games, including this 4-0 shutout to a hated rival, I still sit here and go, that is way, way better than whatever abhorrent monster that I was watching in October. This is way better. There is pressure in the offensive zone. There are scoring chances created. There's puck movement. There's retrievals. There's transition attempts. There's real defensive structure. This is a real hockey team that can play at 5-on-5. This is a hockey team. I felt that way the whole game. And then we allow 3 power play goals and an empty netter against us. Can't get out of the box. This was a winnable hockey game that the Bruins just could not stop shooting themselves in the foot during. And that's still part of the problem. Not being able to finish, not scoring is still part of the problem. That's going to be a problem all year. We predicted that, though, going into the season, that we were going to struggle to score. But yes, there are still issues with this team. All that being said, we look way better than we did in October, even in this ass-kicking. Because this ass-kicking wasn't really that, right? And if you don't take 8 penalties, you probably give yourself a much better chance to win this one. If your power play is just barely below average, you probably give yourself a better chance to win this one. There are plenty of things to worry about with this team. But I think the Bruins fans can feel kind of okay right now. It sucks. The loss sucks. But it's 3 games in a row where you look like a real hockey team. I'm feeling all right. I can live with that right now. Because through October, this looked like a team that did not have any of it. Any of it. I'll take what we're getting. Power play is awful. I don't even have the solution right now. There's 0 movement, which is obviously the first place you want to go. The entries are terrible because it's just 4 guys lined up, a back pass, and then someone has to find a way to force their way into the zone. There's no finishing. There's no finishing across this whole team, which is the scariest part. Other game notes, I thought McAvoy was tremendous. He was all over the place. He was active. He was defending. He was hitting, and he was shooting. I thought he was really good. Along with him, I thought Zadorov was really active, really aggressive in the offensive zone. So there's just a couple players that I really went. They're getting involved, which I really, really like to see. Zadorov obviously had some other issues through this one. I say obviously. It's the physical play, the penalties, the taking himself out of the play to be physical. But offensively, I actually really liked what he was bringing. The third line sucked. For the first time this year, really, a Patra line was thoroughly outplayed. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I was right about Johnson for not. It's one game, a line that they've barely been able to play together, and they haven't played in a regulation game yet. I'm not going to sit here and start acting like I know better. We're going to give him time. We're going to give him a real chance. And it just wasn't a good start, which is fine. There's a lot of reasons for that. But that line could not even get up ice. They just got caved in over and over again. Any chance that they managed to scrape together was quickly snuffed out and forced the other way. It was a really bad night for the Patra line. That's Freddie, Patra, and Johnson. So tough to see that, but there's a lot to take for this game. Just structurally, we looked way better. The penalty kill was way better than the numbers show. You have to live with shots from the point. And for the tip to happen with Nyes, I would have liked him to be tied up, so sure, there's that. But the post and in from Riley, you got to live with that. The moving screens, I mean, you're taking penalties, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage that other teams going to get chances when they're in their zone. A penalty kill simply can't be perfect. and the bounce off of Carlo's leg and in. I mean, a lucky bounce is a lucky bounce. I thought this penalty kill deserved to kill basically all of them other than the Riley one. So they could have gone, 7 for 8? Or 6 for... Yeah, 7 for 8. 6 for 7, technically, because 8. One of those was an offsetting. But either way, penalty kill is way better than it showed. Swayman, I thought, was excellent. Excellent. The only goal that he had a chance on, really, was the Riley one. A tip from 2 feet in front of you. I mean, if it's a good tip, it's going to beat you every time. The Riley one he had a chance at, I think, but again, posted in. I thought Swayman was really solid. And Stolarz on the other end was unbeatable. Fantastic. There were some real scoring chances. That those shots were real shots. Just not able to get one by him. Finishing the problem. We have plenty of concerns as a team. This is still part of an upward swing, though. Oddly enough, it's part of an upward swing. And I'll take what I can get right now. Still under 500 now, though. That sucks. Oh, well. Go Bees. Go Bees! Of course, we have to give a huge thank you to everyone who's supporting this channel, especially the high-quality inspectors, our top-line tier members, Chris and Erica, Jeff with a G, Tommy Braga, The Bugman, Roland22, GD Viperworks, Len Cruz, Moonlighter TV, Brock Nope, Han Slomo, Coach D, The Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Aaron Adams, Brett Arney, Pincent, Adam Ella, and Nick Citrullo. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. You're all studs and studettes. And of course, a huge thank you to the Stallions, our all-star tier members, Joel, Doots42, Heil E. Coyote, Darren Woodbury, Abraxion, John Kirk, Michael DiPaolo, Wolf Warrior, Vinny, Adrian Winter, Tupton D. Tashi, Nightmare Eco, Bruins Smash, DeKingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Dash Riprock, Jacob Pratt, and Jeremy. You are all absolute legends. I appreciate you eternally. And as usual, go Bees!